Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, August 9th, 2011. Let's get right into the charts because it was a wild night of trading. First, we're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures, which are trading higher by 15.5 points at the moment. The futures were down sharply last night, basically down to around the 1075 level. Let me just pull up this little meter here, and you can see here we did trade as low as 1077, and then rallied all the way up last night. I should say this morning, but in the evening time, while we were all sleeping, traded up as high as 1141, came back down, and now we are trading at 1127. So the markets are all over the map here on the futures. The Asian markets were nothing short of just wild trading. Again, these swings are just wide and violent. Futures right now are holding steady. We'll see if that will last. We'll have to wait and see. If we just scroll over to the U.S. dollar index, you could see that the dollar index futures are trading lower by 36 cents at the moment. So this is just a wild night, a wild day of trading. Again, the markets are trading higher today. It looks like there's going to be some intervention, possibly from the Federal Reserve. They will be scheduled to hold their FOMC rate decision meeting at 2:15 this afternoon. So we'll hear about from the Fed this afternoon, probably around 12 o'clock, and we'll see how that plays out. But nonetheless, the U.S. dollar index is trading lower by 35 cents. Futures are trading higher by 15.5 points on the S&P, and we'll just have to see how this all plays out. NASDAQ futures this morning are trading higher by about 30 points. You can see very similar chart pattern set up there, and we'll see if this can stick. These markets are very oversold. That's the only positive that you could make right now. The technical damage that has been done has been just nothing short of monstrous. It's been a huge technical decline, a lot of breakdowns across the board. But markets are getting a little bit of a bounce back today, and we'll see how that holds up. Now, let me just go over the Asian trade last night. You did have wild action in Asia. The Nikkei finished down 1.68%. Believe it or not, that wasn't bad considering it was down much more than that. I believe at one point the Nikkei 225 was down nearly 5% last night. You also had the Hang Seng, which finished down 1,160 points, 5.66%, closed below the 20,000 level. That index also was much lower, traded as low as 18,868 points for the low of the day. So winded up settling at 19,331. Then you have the Shanghai index, which was down sharply. At one point, the Shanghai was down about 3.5–4%. Closed down flat last night, just down 1%. So, just down 1 point. So closed flat, just down 1 point overall, and that's pretty amazing when all things considered. The Shanghai closed at 26.46. It traded down to 25.54. So it's pretty amazing to see that comeback there. Australia finished positive. That was up actually 1%, and then you had the Sensex, which is India, just down 0.8%. So yeah, there were some big rallies back last night in Asia, and we'll see so far that has translated over here. Now, a couple things to talk about before we get into the Europe situation. The FTSE and the French CAC are trading in positive territory. In fact, the CAC 40 is up about 0.5%. But Germany is getting slammed. Germany's down 1.4%, trading lower again today. It is definitely off the lows, but nonetheless, it is still trading down almost 1.5%. We got to watch that one closely. Germany is really the growth engine of the European Union, so again, we'll have to watch that closely and see how that plays out. Can't take anything for granted in this market. We got to expect wild gyrations, wild swings again. They can be wide on both sides, to the upside and to the downside. Again, be very cautious, pull back. Those of you that are day traders, you may just want to take a step back and let these markets calm down a little bit. It's tough for the pros out there, never mind for someone that's new in this business. So again, traders should be a little bit on the cautious side, and let this thing really tell us what to do. That's the best way to play it. Now there are a few things to go over. Gold has made new highs last night, but it is starting to come in a little bit off the intraday highs or the pre-market highs on GLD. Okay, but nonetheless, gold is still up significantly, up about $40 at the moment. Again, this is another vehicle that I think is a little overcooked. Gold is a little bit extended. Nonetheless, with the problems that are going on around the world, gold could go higher. You cannot rule that out. Okay, let's take a look at SLV, because this is really what we consider the poor man's gold. And you'll see SLV has continued to roll over. Okay, yesterday SLV closed at 37.97, and today it's at 36.94, down about a point from yesterday's close. Whenever I see something like this, it's telling me this is not good action. Maybe it has a chance to move back higher if more things come out regarding Europe, regarding the U.S. But nonetheless, the action on silver is not very great right now. And you can even see here it had a big reversal day. Basically, give you the exact date of that on August 4th, and you can see how it's rolled over and really hasn't gotten back up to those highs above the 41 level. So again, silver a little bit on the weaker side. Gold is still remaining very strong, but even the action in gold is starting to taper off a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out. The USO this morning is trading at 31.78. Yesterday closed at 31.51. Oil was down much sharper earlier this morning, much more, and it has come back a little bit. The same with spot crude. Spot crude was down sharply this morning and has come back a little bit. So again, it did break that $80 a barrel level and has snapped back up a little bit. So oil right now is trading around $81.30, basically flat on the session. Now we have second quarter productivity news will be released right now. I'm just going to go back to the futures real quick. Second quarter productivity news is being released at the moment. We'll see how these futures do react. Again, it looks like we're all over the map here. Just so you could see it. Market starting to trade down a little bit. Maybe the productivity numbers aren't going to be that important, but we are starting to dip a little bit. It's going to be more. The market's going to hang more on the words of the Federal Reserve that are expected to speak this afternoon in their FOMC rate decision meeting. So let's see how that plays out. I guess that's going to be the big meeting. But right now, futures have come back in just a touch. Nothing dramatic, but they're only up 12.5 points, 12 points right now. And the dollar is getting a little bit of a bid. Looks like second quarter productivity down 0.3%. Normally, I don't even care about news, but right now the market is so sensitive to every news report. Really have no choice but to look at it. So futures are starting to come back down. We'll see if they do sell off further. It's going to be something. Today is going to be another volatile session. Ultimately, the only positive I can make for this market right now is that it is extremely oversold. That's it. The oversold comparisons could be made to times like 1987, times like the long-term capital crisis back in the late 90s, and situations like that. But I mean, this is the most oversold I've ever seen the markets. So I mean, we're overdue for some kind of a bounce. But nonetheless, when the baby gets thrown out with the bathwater, you got to watch out. We still haven't really found capitulation yet. If yesterday was capitulation, it looked like there could be more damage. Now there are some stocks that we should look at. Let's take a look at BSFT. Okay, this stock is trading up about $1 this morning. We also have Baidu. China did well last night, so watch these Chinese ADRs. They could be in play today. Baidu is trading up a little bit there as well. You have ARM Holdings, ARM-H. That is trading up also. And then you have RIO. That is getting a bid. Let's take a look at Freeport-McMoRan. I haven't looked at that this morning. Yeah, it's up a little bit. This is another one beaten down. So any any decline in the dollar or these commodity stocks could be in for a short-term bounce, although the technical damage has been just tremendous. Here's a stock that is getting crushed today. Fossil, FOSL. This has been a market leader as well, and it's really rolled over. This stock probably wants to go to the 88, maybe $89 level. There'll be a lot of support there. You have the daily chart 200 moving average, also very good support area. So this stock could trade down a little bit further, but Fossil is trading down sharply today, and this has been a market leader. Another one of the leaders rolling over. Okay, so that's really what we're looking at right now. Again, futures have come in off those highs. When I got on to do this broadcast here, futures were trading up about 15.5 points. Now trading up just 12 points, 12.5 points at the moment. Again, you have the Fed speaking today. That's going to be a big event. Usually, they used to speak at 2:15 in the afternoon. Now I believe they're going to speak at 12 o'clock. So we'll see how that plays out. All eyes will be on the Fed. Either way, the damage has been done in this market. Maybe they could prop it up for a little while, but in any case, be cautious in this type of trading environment. The moves are just so drastic on both the long side and the short side. It's rather dramatic. So you want to be safe in this type of environment. All right, with that said, everyone, have a great trading day, and I'll see you all in the chat room. I'll see you all on the mic at 9:30. Everyone else, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.